we have the Virgo full moon coming up on the 18th. So I'm going to go through every sign. I'm going to do what it is that you need to release, or what you are releasing, what you're bringing in, and how you can make that happen. And I'll pull an advice card from a Moonology deck that I barely ever use. So I already shuffled the cards. I'm going to go straight into Aries. This is Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I would say even Mars, because that's super important to me, but if you have this sign in any of those placements, then I would take a look at all of those signs. If it resonates, let me know, hit the like button. So this is going to be for Aries, what you need to release, what you're bringing in. I feel like I should have taken that. So what you need to release, what you're bringing in, how can you do that? And then I'll pull advice. So we have the number 3, heartache and loss. This is being backstabbed, grief. You've probably felt like you put all of your efforts forward and people continuously sabotage or leave you empty-handed. I'm not saying this as one person specifically, it could be. But if you look, her hands are facing downward and her hair is covering her eyes. She's looking down and the light is behind her. She's at the bottom of a cave. So it's almost as if that you've spent too long of time down there with your head down, your shoulders rolled forward. So look at like rolling your shoulders back and gaining that confidence again, and not pointing your hands towards the ground. You've been in the slumps, you've been in the shadows for a little bit too long. It's time to see the light. The light is right behind you. So it's time to wake up. Number 5 is right after that, obstacles and challenges. And so it looks like it skips over. So this is what's coming in. So it's not necessarily foundation, which is what you probably crave. However, what you need to do is you need to have some change in your life. So change is coming through, transformation. How you can make that happen, the number 18, shadow work. So your light meets the shadow. Makes a lot of sense. What's really interesting, if you look, blue, yellow, blue and yellow. Isn't that interesting? So you need to definitely embrace the change, embrace the heartache, embrace the loss, and see how it created space for new beginnings and transformation. This loss was so painful that it allowed you to be able to have the resilience to go through this change that's coming through. Without the loss, you probably wouldn't have the fortitude to be able to move forward. Advice for Aries. Advice for Aries. One more. Full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. You are reaching the end. You're ready to come out. So that's very beautiful. That is coming up for you this week. It's funny because March 18th is the full moon in Virgo. So coming up pretty soon for you. So let's move on to Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. For Taurus, this one is for Taurus. What you are releasing, what you are bringing in, and how that can happen. You are releasing triumph, power issues, someone you had to over-dominate and conquer, or something you had to conquer. It doesn't have to be a person, it could be a cycle. You conquered a cycle. You felt like you were very resilient, that you probably lacked support or you needed support, but you definitely needed structure in all of this. It was not an easy success. I would say it's triumphant success. So this could have been like overthrowing someone that was abusing power or standing up for someone's rights, being an activist. When I see triumph, I see someone that was more of like indirectly healing other people and giving people motivation and inspiration based off your resilience to overcome hardships where, I mean, you couldn't have overcome it You have the choice to kind of fall down and surrender, or to push forward and receive victory. So like you've gained some type of valor from what you've been through recently. And what you're bringing in from this is material harvest. This person's rushing in and grabbing. They're rushing in and taking everything because they earned it. And this person is sitting back and receiving. So now it's time to sit back and receive. Let's see, how can you do that? How can Taurus do that? Mental conflict. When I get mental conflict, that means that you're probably not sleeping well. You're in your head. You're probably going through this imposter syndrome. You don't know how to go from this hyper moving person, this inspiring person, this horn blowing, like not horn blowing, but this person that kind of blasts. Everybody sees you coming. You're going from this to this, and this could create mental conflict. You need to be able to do something when it's mentally healing. So I always tell people you need brain healing, mental healing, mind healing. Mind healing can come through breath work, but I think it's therapeutic journaling. Going to a therapist, speaking about it has a lot to do with words. Learning new vocabulary can actually be very healing because it helps you shape a new identity for yourself, helps you communicate differently. And so you need to learn how to communicate, who to communicate with, and how to communicate differently, and be able to express communication in either in an unorthodox way or an unfamiliar way. And that's going to be able to change course of how you think internally, and that's going to allow you to bring in material harvest. So that's for Taurus. Let me grab you an advice card. What's happening for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars by March 18th, or for this Virgo full moon? Nope, we got 3 cards, so I'll pull them more. Full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. Show the world the real you. Aquarius, could have Aquarius in your chart. New moon in Virgo. Time to give rather than take. Take. I'm taking this. I own it. I earn it. It's mine. I receive. So it's a switch. You need to make a switch, and it's going to cause some mental anguish. So you need to work on how you think, how you express yourself. So that's for Taurus. Let's move on to Gemini. This one is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What are you releasing? What are you bringing in? And how can you make that happen? Plus an advice card for this week until the full moon in Virgo. Oh. Fulfillment and wishes is what you're releasing. Fulfillment of wishes, number 9. There was probably some singularity with all of this, so you might have had one success, or you might have had a lot of success that revolves around your independence and sustainability, but on your own. It doesn't really fit other people. There's no teamwork. It's just really fulfilling your wishes of your autonomy, fulfilling your wishes as a single person, as just an autonomous singular person. So what you're releasing, it looks like, is the singularity, the independence, the autonomy. So it's interesting. I wonder what you're bringing in. New beginnings is what you're bringing in. The universe is the outcome and how you can bring it in. So it looks like you're going from a streamline, straight and narrow. I put forward effort and I receive it on a singular notion. And what you're bringing in is the number 0. We go from 9 to 0. So it looks like you're going into a completely different cycle where you might need to expand this way rather than vertical. We have the universe, number 21. it's time to expand rather than climb. And so right now, through this entire week up until March 18th, or even after that, you're literally becoming and rebirthing into a baby. You've reached this achievement with yourself on a singular node, I don't know. And now it's time to expand yourself more on the horizon and to be able to expand and be with people. So this one's really about bringing people together, bringing harmony in, rather than success and something that you can calculate and measure. It's more about how can you connect to other people. So it's a completely different mindset. And this is going to bring you a lot of awareness. You might feel like you're going from a wise soul to a young soul, and that's okay. That's beautiful. Let me pull you an advice card, Gemini. You might notice a lot of things coming from every avenue that don't really make sense happening this week, or they're probably already cultivated. Something that does feel like it brings in more people. So like for instance, I'm a Gemini rising, Gemini Venus, and I've been so used to doing one-on-one. I was a personal trainer. I did one-on-one, and then I went into being a nutrition coach, and I wrote meal designs for people one-on-one. And then I went into being a massage therapist and a hypnotherapist. So I've been doing all these things one-on-one, and recently I've had opportunities of events, and I do so well at markets and being with people. I've had opportunities of being a teacher, and I do so well being a teacher with a group of people. And now instead of being a 100% one-on-one services with people, that's like 20% of my service. The rest of my service is now integrating with people. So this makes a lot of sense to me, because I think I've reached this fulfillment of wishes on a singular linear line, and now I'm being offered to expand my horizons. It might be less money. It might not be as successful in the way that you envision success, but there's so much success here in this new beginning, and it's just a different mindset. It's a different compass. You're recalibrating your compass, if that makes sense. Gemini, Sun and Rising, Venus and Mars. Full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. Some inspiration, some news. What I'm getting is you'll notice that going from this linear approach to life and receiving success, I put something out and I receive it. I put something out and I don't receive it. So this battle of the singular notion and this contradiction that can play when you're working one-on-one, you're going to see the expansion and the success when you expand your horizons. More of a, I hope I'm making sense, by the way. Teaching rather than one-on-one per se, or going from making money from one source of income to having residual income, or going from renting something to investing into a house. So like you buy a home and now you put it up on Airbnb and you're renting it out. All of these things are like spreading your horizons in a different way. And so it's almost like you're starting a new cycle as a rookie, but you see the benefit and the success from a completely different life. So you're literally redefining all the definitions of what you see as success and growth and expansion, and reciprocity. So a fiery climax approaches, what that means to me is you're going to see such an inspiration and such an attraction and a magnetism towards yourself and others when you decide to actually embrace this new endeavor. Success could have been very difficult in certain avenues in the past when you were autonomous. And now that you're not autonomous or getting the opportunity to not be, you're going to see how easy success can be. The energy is gaining momentum. Bring love to the situation. You're probably redefining love, or how it is to receive love, or how it is to give love. So that's for Gemini. I only have enough time to do Aries, Taurus, Gemini for this one. I'll go through and I'll do 3 other videos for the rest of the signs, or I'm probably calculating that wrong because I'm really bad at math, but stay tuned for the next video.